Good afternoon, colorists. I am Mia Luyando with Badass Art. I am here this afternoon with our brand new book, Dragonfly Dreams, and you can find this on Amazon. We still have a couple of steps left to do in a few of our other pictures, but since this just came, I wanted to work on one of these new images. I'm just a little excited about it, and I thought maybe we would start with her because she's got great hair, great skin, and great eyes, and those are three things that it doesn't really matter how many times we go over them. You know, it's always nice to have a bit of a refresher. So I decided to use the Fabre Castell Skin Tones, and I've also got the Fabre Castell Black Edition here this afternoon. But I think we will get started with the skin tone. This is number 803. And I'm just going to kind of go in with some nice, easy circles. Very light hand. Don't need to put a lot of pressure on these pencils. For an oil pencil, they're pretty soft. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to get some color deposit on your paper. And this is just a first pass. She's a lighter skin, but we've got some nice deep shadows around, so we might play around with a bit of more of a, I don't know, maybe an olive tone on her. That's always a good one to learn. So we're just going to go in with this kind of peachy pink flesh tone. Into the shadowy parts of her face here. Nice and easy. Just take your time. The trick to smooth skin tones is blending, and I've found over the years that these small circles receive layers easier when you're using oil pencils, and it receives wax pencils in a way that blends easier with other colors. It's just it's a technique, and I found that it works for me, so you know, maybe it'll work for you too. Well, we want to give her face, you know, a nice base, so that as we layer other colors over top to make this more of an olive tone, we still have that, you know, that base color that we can blend into. It'll, you know, receive the other colors a little more easily than just going straight into the gray tone. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. Sorry about that. for those of you who are interested in getting this coloring book, if you'd like to see a flip through, you can jump over to Facebook to my group over there, Badass Art, and you can find a full flip through of all the pages that are included in the book. And if you do request to join the group, please answer the questions. One of the questions is, how did you hear about the group? And let me know that you found me on YouTube. That's very helpful. I'm just going to go ahead and give her full, even these lighter areas, a touch of color. I think I'm going to just work on this side of her face so that you guys can see which colors I use, and that way you can go in later and work on the other side at your own pace. I'm trying to decide which color to grab next for this olive tone. Now I'm going to go in with this kind of yellowish color, number 785. Because we are making this more of an olive complexion, I do want to give that suggestion of warmth in the undertone. So I'm going in under the highlighted part of her skin, just at the tops of her cheeks. And if you're using a different set, you can usually find like a light cream color or a pale yellow. And that'll do the trick if you're not using a skin tone set. But this skin tone set from Fabre Castell is pretty reasonably priced. I think it's less than $15 for the set of 12, so I will definitely link that in the description below. And I've been using the Black Widow skin tones for the last few days, and I've kind of gotten used to their colors. And I do like that set a lot, the Black Widows. They have a nice selection of skin tones. But think I always kind of come back to the Crayola Colors of the World and this set, the Fabre Castell Black Edition. The skin tones are incredibly believable. I think that's a word I use a lot to describe them, and very user-friendly. They have a good range, so you're going to be able to capture pretty much any shade skin you're trying to achieve. Okay, and that gives us that little yellow undertone there. Next, I'm going to grab 786. It's a little bit of kind of a taupey, sort of a sandy beigey brown. And I'm going to go back into the shadowy colors again, the shades. And you can see how when this color goes over, it does sort of change the look of the complexion. And you'll see when we bring it down into that yellowy, creamy color from before, it really warms up her complexion to a nice creamy olive. And, just take your time, patience. So, enjoy the process. And you'll find the coverage that suits you, when you reach the darkness or the depth that makes you happy with your portrait. And just using incredibly light pressure. You can go over this as, usually the layer limit on Amazon paper is, it's not exceptional, but it's not bad. I can usually go over it, 6, 7 times. Not that you'll need to do that with this, but you can go over it a few more times to get the shade that you want. Sometimes I just do it to see how many layers I can apply before it starts giving up on me. And you'll know when it gets, when it's giving up on you, because it just doesn't want to mix anymore. It starts to look muddy. And you're like, okay, the paper's full. It's not going to accept anymore. make just a bit darker. I have number 788, and this is in the Echo Super Soft. There might be a, hold on, there's a, let me go over to the skin tone. I'm sure there's a similar color. Yeah, number 784. This is in the skin tone set. I wanted to just darken this up a bit. Nice and light. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna just kind of contour her nose. Last but not least, I always come in with a warmer color for her cheeks. And this is still in the skin tone set. This is 787. And I'm just going to go over the tops of her cheeks. And when you're adding like a, for lack of a better word, a blush color, just imagine if you were out in the sun, where would you get a sunburn? Where would the sun touch your cheeks and your nose and your chin? And that's where you want to add the color. If you're looking for a more natural look. If you're looking for something, you know, more sophisticated and more, you know, like a makeup, that's a bit different. But I'm going for a more natural kind of, you know, just a sun-kissed look here. And so I'm just going to go over the top of her cheek. Kind of a little bit of a sunburned or sun-kissed look. And it adds, you know, some warmth and believability to the portrait. Gives it a little extra dimension and depth. And I'm also going to be adding it over the bridge of her nose. And I haven't, you know, added all of the color here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit there. And that's just me. So I think I'll leave it there for you today. We're at about 20 minutes. You can go in and finish the other side. And when we come back tomorrow, we will work on her hair. And we can also do some realistic eyes with this one too. Super fun little portrait. I hope everybody's had a great day. Enjoy.